on this episode of Whitetail Addictions.
These oaks are just dropping everywhere in here. Oh, look at my hands. I can't stop shaking. Not.
I'm what you call a lone wolf. I like to walk alone. I go hunt for the feeling. I thrive out on my own. Look in my eyes, look at the prize, look at the yeah. Heart in my chest, holding my breath. Yes. I'm addicted to the game. I am the one they run from. Dead I lie and wait. I do not tremble, do not shake. Ice cold blood in my veins, yeah. The lone wolf is my name.
Hi, I'm Justin Hollandsworth, and welcome to Whitetail Addictions. This past season was a phenomenal season for me. I feel very fortunate and lucky to achieve some of my goals this past season, but I had a tag in Iowa that I drew this year, which is something that everybody should be excited for when that opportunity comes. I had a tag in Illinois, and I also had obviously my tag in my home state of Ohio. And my home state of Ohio is kind of always my priority spot every year because I'm always hunting one particular buck typically, and this year was no different. I had a deer that I call Lucky that I have 3 years of history with, and that was going to be my number one goal though for the year, was target this buck and really stay after him and make some timely moves. And I hope you guys enjoy these hunts and hunt like a wolf. And I spent a ton of time behind my spotting scope this past summer, just trying to understand where this deer was coming and going and trying to pin down his little core area. And I was hoping it was going to stay the same, what I was seeing during the summer versus what it was going to be like come season. The week leading up to season, I noticed that a lot of these deer were keying on a couple specific white oaks and red oaks that were dropping along this one field edge. And so that was going to be my key to trying to narrow in, and I wanted to start the approach and slowly start to get in there and not push too hard and from the initial go of it. So I set back a little bit, and I believe it was on my second set of the season, I laid eyes on Lucky. That's the deer I call Lucky. That's why I came over here tonight. Giant. 180 plus. The one thing that I picked up was if it was a south wind, which would have been great for me, he didn't come and J hook through the woods. What he would do is he would come out way down at the other end where I don't have access. And when he would come out of that corner, he would come out and then he would jog to the middle of the field to get away from the edge. and then he would not come back in until he got right in front of those white and red oaks. Now, with a north wind, he would come through the timber and he would kind of J-hook and come up. Well, I figured that was my key right there, to just get off to the edge of it and pray that the wind was going to stay doing that same thing as he approached. That was the key, figuring out where he was feeding on the particular wind.
October 4th, I'm back in the same set I was in the other night. I had my target buck at probably 70 yards, maybe a little closer now that I'm looking at it from being in broad daylight, because it was pretty dark when he came in, but had plenty of shooting light. Anyway, I set up yesterday and watched this field, and he came out. He stayed down there the whole time. The problem is, I don't have much room to run, because I only have just a small little section here that I can hunt. So, I got 2 major strikes in here, so when he comes in tonight and heads in, we're getting north wind, but a little bit east, so it's perfect. So, hopefully he comes in. Okay, October 10th, back in the tree. As soon as I got in the tree, I had 3 small bucks on me right away. It's about 62 degrees out, but it's been really, this morning it was in the 30s. We're in a perfect evening red moon phase, and the buck that I'm after was super active on a couple cameras in here, and when I was walking in, there's red hot sign everywhere. So I've had 4 encounters with this buck, 2 inside of bow range. 1, I had shooting light, and he turned and walked away from the other, was too dark. Hopefully it happens tonight.
passing up swoops was not an easy thing to do, but I think he's a 4-year-old, and myself and a really good friend, we kind of committed going into the season that we weren't going to shoot that deer, so I was going to stick to that, and it's probably the biggest deer I've ever passed. After passing up swoops, I still knew that I was out of place. I knew that I still needed to make another adjustment. So after that, I tore down my .75 and I did some scouting. I got some boots on the ground and I went and looked at the edge of that wood line because I knew there was a bunch of oaks that were dropping, but I needed to know what was the oak that they preferred over everything. And once I got over there and I seen all the droppings and I seen all the busted up acorns on the ground, I knew I had to be within 25 yards of that tree. So I immediately set up and got ready for the next hunt.
These oaks are just dropping everywhere in here. And you can see where the deer are busting them open. So I know that deer is feeding heavy. So that's why I'm gonna move this stand 20 yards tonight and get right on top of it. Yes. Yeah. Got him. Oh my God. 5 encounters with him. He's laying dead right there in a field. Perfect. Yes. Okay. I gotta calm down. Check this out. There he is, laying right there. He is done. Stay persistent. And making the move is how that deer was killed. Unbelievable. He's a giant. That is a big, big deer. I am pumped. Oh my God. Went right to an oak tree like he'd been doing before. I think I just heart shot him. Okay, just got down. There's my set. It's right there. Oh yeah. Oh, he's a tank. Oh yeah. Look at the cage. Look at the cage. Man, oh, look at that. Okay, here it is.
I finally had it come together tonight. I think this is like my 4th or 5th encounter with this buck. Actually, just a couple nights ago, I had him in bow range, but it was just too dark, couldn't see my pin. So played cat and mouse with him, and finally made it happen tonight. So this is a deer that Steve and I we have at least 3 years of history with this buck. Steve picked up a shed off of him last year. I actually was hunting the deer during the late season, and just could never make it happen. And I was getting ready to go in one morning to hunt him, and looked at a trail cam picture, and he was standing there with one side. So I shifted gears and got on a different buck, and I think there was a reason for that. I think there was a reason that happened, and that's why I'm sitting behind him today. And I am super pumped and super blessed to be behind such a magnificent animal. Look at that deer. Pumped, get to share this moment with a good friend, and we just got done sharing a moment the other night because Steve's behind the camera right now, and he just laid down a giant the other night. So it's fun. I love this stuff.
Been an awesome Ohio fast season.
It definitely has. The good thing is we got some tags in some other states to fill to feed that addiction, but I'm not even gonna think about that right now. I'm gonna take 3, 4, 5 days and just soak this in and enjoy every single minute of it, because this just doesn't happen enough.
Congratulations, pal.
Thank you. Whitetail bow hunting for mature bucks is my deepest passion. There's probably nothing that consumes my mind more than that, to be quite honest with you. And every year I'm just looking for that next buck to chase and play the game with, and 9 times out of 10 I get beat, but I only have to be right once, and every once in a while it comes together, and I'm already daydreaming and looking forward to that next season. And but there's nothing better than being in a tree drawing back on a mature buck.
Whitetail Addictions is brought to you by Lone Wolf Custom Gear, the innovator of mobile hunting. Lone Wolf Arrowheads, recover your deer, not your broadhead. Face-off bikes, make every hunt count. Osseo Gear, nature's best camouflage. Vortex Optics, we got your back. Buck Fever, synthetic scents, make bucks hunt you. Stealth Cam, never miss a moment. Hoyt Archery, get serious, get Hoyt. And by Victory Archery, the carbon arrow experts.
This is Andre Quisto from Lone Wolf Custom Gear. I wanted to thank you for watching Whitetail Addictions and ask that you become one of our silent partners by hitting the YouTube subscribe button and following us on Facebook and Instagram.